in terms of props, what you might want today, just what you're going to want to feel comfortable, really, because we're just going to move through a flow and nothing really specific for today. But if you want to have blocks for under your hands, I've got a little blanket here for little elevation, and it's nice to have this to put behind your head at certain points if you want some extra comfort. Let's just start in a comfortable seat. So set yourself up so that you can just lengthen up through the spine. Let your eyes start to shift towards closed. And start to feel the wave of the breath in your body. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. And as you breathe, just notice if there are places where you feel maybe a little stuck. Maybe there's some place in your body where you're holding some tension, or you're gripping onto something. Maybe you can find a little bit of movement with the breath. Maybe you shift position slightly so that you find just a little bit of freedom in those places where you're just not moving, where you're stuck. And this is the practice for today, just to create a little bit of movement, a little bit of flow, because sometimes when we get stuck off the mat, moving on the mat will help us to free something so that we can move forward and have a little bit more space. Let's bring the hands together at the center of the heart and just bow your head down to your heart. Set an intention for your practice this morning to move, to breathe, to find this ocean quality in your breathing so that you can tap into the qualities of movement, flow, and get unstuck. And then when you're ready, lift your chin, open your eyes, release your hands down. Let's come back to child's pose. So go ahead and make your way onto your hands and your knees. I've got these blocks towards the top of the mat just for under hands later on. And if you wanted to set up a blanket for under your knees for a little bit of cushion, go ahead and do that so that you have some movement, some space to move, and settle back into child's pose. Drop your head, relax, and feel the ocean of your breathing. So in through the nose, let your breath roll in through your body, and out through the nose or the mouth. Two more breaths. Let your breath be full and really feel the movement of it in your body. Make your way on up to all fours, and let's just slide into some spinal movements. So knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Drop the belly, look forward, arch your back as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, press down and around the back. Just moving between cat-cow, and feel free to invite any little other movements into the spinal movements that you're finding. So you might circle the torso around, let the hips move, Let the shoulders move. Just let your head respond as it's going to respond. Again, inviting some movement into those places that feel a little bit stuck. Let's glide back into child's pose briefly. Take a breath in and a breath out here. Feel that wave of your breath. And then let's stand up on the knees. So rise up to stand on the knees. Take your arms out to the side and circle the arms out to the side and up towards the sky. And with your exhale, draw the hands together at the center of the heart. And 2 more times like that. Just let your arms envelope the space around you as you bring them up, and then gather them down to the center of the heart. 1 more time like that. Follow your breathing. The next time your arms come up, keep them up. I'm going to turn to face you. We're just going to bend the right elbow and hold onto the right elbow with the left hand. Reaching the right hand for your opposite shoulder. And then let's take the left arm out to the side, flip the palm to face behind you, and take it behind your back. We're not going to clasp today, just rest your hands on your back somewhere, wherever they can reach. And then we're just going to switch sides. So take your arms out to the side, roll your shoulders in the other direction. Let's take the left arm up and bend the elbow and take the right hand to the left elbow just for a moment for this first one. Stretch the left fingertips toward your opposite shoulder. And then add that right arm up the back. And then fluidly just switch sides. Roll to the other side. You're not reaching for your fingertips. You're just reaching your hands behind your back. And roll to the other side. And just keep switching back and forth. Just feeling the shoulders move. Maybe there's some places that are a little stuck here. See if you can invite some movement here as you breathe. Good. When you're ready, arms out to the side, reach wide, and then bring your hands down to the floor in front of you. Let's lift up into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and stretch back. Bend your right knee and keep your left leg straight. And just stretch that left heel towards the floor. Feel your shoulders, feel your breathing. And then switch sides. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, stretch the right heel towards the floor. And then straighten both legs. You can widen your legs apart. Give yourself some space to create some freedom in the back of the waistline and the spine and the head. And then if you have a blanket underneath you, just shift it out of the way for a moment. Bring your feet a little closer together and come forward to plank pose. Roll forward into plank so your head comes forward last. Take a breath in and then lower all the way to the belly. You can bend the knees and you might find this knees, chest, shin position, which is kind of awkward, but you might find that position on the way down. And then roll on to the belly. So that knees, chest, chin position, we're going to visit that a little bit in our flow today. So you can play with it or you can just lower down a different way. Let's bring the arms out in front of us. Reach the legs long and the arms long. Let your head relax. Take a couple breaths here. Feel the fullness of the breath along your back body. And then let's lift the arms and the legs up and swim. So just paddle your feet and your arms up and down as if you were swimming in the ocean. And then stop in the middle, bring your hands behind the back of your waistline and hug the arms together. Arms are lifted, legs are lifted. Let the crown of your head stretch forward so there's no wrinkles on the back of your neck. Take another breath in and then release down. Turn one cheek to the floor. Let your arms rest by your sides and give your hips a little shimmy and a shake. Take full back body breaths as you rest on the belly. Bring the chin back to the middle of the mat, hands next to your ribs, like you're gonna do a push-up. Press your way up to all fours and then go up and back to downward facing dog. Stretch the hips high. Let's lift the right leg to the sky, down dog split. And with your exhale, lower that right leg down towards the floor. We're gonna do that 4 more times. So lift the right leg on your inhale, down dog split. Lower on your exhale. And 3 more times on your own, lift and lower. Nice and controlled, feel the movement in your hips. And let's switch sides. After your right leg comes down, on your next breath in, lift the left leg up, down dog split, and lower. 4 more times on your own. The next time you come to down dog, after you've done 5, relax your knees to the floor. And let's step the right foot forward into a lunge. So sneak it forward. Here's where you might want blocks under your hands. So let the hips come forward. Lift the chin, breathe in. And on your exhale, rock the hips back. Straighten the front leg. Maybe lift the toes on the front foot. This is called Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Rock back forward into a lunge, take a breath in, and tuck your back toes. When you rock back this time, you have the option to hover your back knee off the floor. So it's a hovering version of this half splits. And then knee down, rock the weight forward into a low lunge, and then sweep your arms up towards the sky into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Take a breath in, reach the fingertips high. And with your exhale, put your hands back down on the blocks or on the floor. Rock the hips back so that you can release the right knee back down to the floor to come to all fours. Let's switch sides. Left foot, sneak it forward, lunge. Lift the chin, lift the chest, breathe in. And on your exhale, rock the hips back, straighten the front leg, maybe lift the toes on the front foot. Rock back forward into a lunge, breathe in. And now tuck your back toes. On your breath out, rock the hips back, straighten the front leg, maybe hover the back knee off the floor. You're in the hovering version. Good. Rock back forward into a lunge, back knee down, maybe untuck the toes, and then sweep the arms up towards the sky into Anjaneyasana. Breathe in here. And with your exhale, bring your hands down to the blocks. Let's shift the blocks out of the way and make your way back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Hold here, plank. Knees up or knees down. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, knees, chest, chin. Knees hit the floor, bend your elbows, chest to the floor, maybe chin to the floor. Slide onto the belly and come into cobra pose. So just a little low cobra, crown of the head forward, no wrinkles on the back of the neck. Hover your hands. Take a breath in. On your exhale, put your hands down, make your way up and back to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Feel the ocean movement of your breathing. We're going to move through that flow one more time. I'm going to give you the option to start in down dog and step forward into a lunge, or you can go from all fours. So with your inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. With your exhale, step that foot forward in between your hands and come into a lunge. Back knee comes down to the floor, hands on your blocks if you want them. Lift the chin, lift the chest, breathe in. On your exhale, rock the hips back, straighten the front leg, maybe lift the toes. Rock back forward into a lunge, breathe in. Here's our hovering version. Tuck the back toes, rock the hips back, straighten the front leg and hover the back knee. Come back into a lunge, breathe in, sweep the arms to the sky, get long, get wide, expansive. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your way back to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Come forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, hit the floor. Lower down, control it. Slide onto the belly, find cobra pose. Hover your hands off the floor. Crown of the head forward, neck long. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Either come to all fours or stay here. Sweep the left leg to the sky, breathe in. With your exhale, step that foot forward, lunge. Lower the back knee, hands on the blocks if you want them. Lift the chin, lift the chest, breathe in. With your exhale, rock the hips back, straighten the front leg, maybe lift the toes. Rock back forward on your breath in. Here's the hovering version. Rock the hips back, straighten the front leg, maybe hover the back knee. Rock back into a lunge, take a breath in, sweep your arms to the sky, breathe in. On your breath out, hands to the floor or to blocks. Different this time, let's step forward into a forward fold. So lift your back knee up, step your back foot forward, and just hang in a forward fold. Find your breathing and relax. Hands could stay on blocks or you could shift them out of the way. Just let your upper body dangle. See if you can release anything that is stuck. Find some swaying movements in the body. Rocking around. Just feeling the buoyancy of your body as you breathe. On your next breath in, lengthen your spine, half lift. On your breath out, fold forward over your legs. Let's rise up to stand. Root into your feet, reach for the sky, arms up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Take a breath in, lift your chest. Exhale, release your arms to your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up, envelope that space. Exhale, fold forward over your legs, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lengthen your spine, breathe in, half lift. Breathe out and fold. Step your left leg back into a lunge. Bring your back knee down to the ground and sweep the arms out to the side into that extended shape alongside your ears, like you're enveloping a circle. And with your exhale, put the hands down on the floor. Step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Hold here, breathe in. And with your exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Slide with your inhale to the belly. Lift the chest, hover the hands. And then with your exhale, make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Lift the left leg to the sky, down dog split. With your exhale, step the foot forward into a lunge. Lower your back knee down to the ground. Sweep your arms to the sky. Find that enveloping circular shape as you rise up with the arms. And with your exhale, put the hands down. Step the back foot forward and come back into a forward fold. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in, half lift. As you breathe out, fold. Circle the arms out to the side as you rise up. It's a reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands together, at the center of the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Trace the midline of your body as you fold. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in, half lift. Breathe out and fold. Step your right leg back into a lunge. Lower the back knee down to the ground and sweep the arms out to the side. Envelope that space like you're holding a big circle or a beach ball above your head. Hands down, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Hold here, take a breath in. With your exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Control it. Slide onto the belly with your inhale, hovering cobra, hover the hands off the floor. Exhale, make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Find this flow. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step that foot forward, lunge. Lower the back knee down to the ground. Sweep the arms out to the side. Envelope that space, breathe in. With your exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your back knee up and step forward into a forward fold. Pause here and let your body dangle and move and release. That was a little moon sun salutation as opposed to a sun salutation, a moon salutation. Has a little bit more quality of quiet and flow. As the moon does, is associated with water and tides and the movement of our breathing. So find that ocean quality of your breathing and follow your next breath in to lengthen your spine, half lift. And follow the flow of your exhale to fold forward over your legs. Let's roll up to stand now. So bend your knees a little bit, go slowly, feel each vertebra. Notice where you have to go slowly. Let the head come up last and roll the shoulders onto the back when you get to the top. Bring your hands together at the center of the heart. Feel the movement of your breath. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, release your arms to your sides. Let's sit back in chair pose. Bend your knees. Bring your arms out in front of you for today. So instead of alongside your ears, out in front of you, or hands to the heart, you choose. Take a breath in, and with your exhale, release your head and fold forward over your legs. Just let it go. With your next inhale, go back to chair pose. Lift up, breathe in. Exhale, sweep the torso towards the thighs, release the head. And one more time, generating energy here. Inhale, chair. Exhale, release the head down and fold. And then stay here in your forward fold and just chill, relax, let go. With your next inhale, lengthen your spine, half lift. And with your breath out, fold. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Down dog, stretch. Roll forward to plank pose. Let your head come forward last. It's a wave. And then wave it up and back to downward facing dog. 2 more times like that. Let your body ripple forward. Feel each vertebra. Head comes forward last. No wrinkles in the back of the neck. Exhale up and back to downward facing dog. And one more time like that. Let your body roll forward and roll back. Come to child's pose and relax back. Take a rest. Settle in. Maybe you want to find a little movement in child's, rocking from side to side. Maybe taking a little side stretch. You decide. Just take a few breaths to find any movements that might feel good in your body right now. All right, let's come forward to all fours. We're gonna play with side plank right now. So put the weight into your left hand. Let's keep the left knee down for this one. So left knee down, turn the shin out like a little kickstand. That'll give you some support for your pose. And then roll onto the inside edge of your right leg as you straighten it back behind you. And then maybe the right arm could come to your hip or to the sky. Maybe you make a little rainbow shape with your top arm, stretching the arm over the ear. Get really long through your body. Take a breath in. And then with your exhale, roll into all fours. Use the belly to release. And then we'll switch sides. So right hand down, really spread the fingers, get strong through that bottom arm. Right knee turns, is on the floor, right shin like a kickstand, and then extend the left leg back behind you. Open the chest, maybe hand to the hip or arm to the sky, maybe arm over the ear and reach. Use your breath out to release back to the center. Let's go back and forth a couple times. Roll to the left side, open the right arm to the sky. Use your breath out to come back to all fours. Really use the belly and roll onto the right side. Anchor down through the right arm, through the right knee, through the back foot. And release on your breath out. One more time each side, just rolling from side to side. Use your breathing. And once you come back to all fours, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Bend your right knee and straighten your left leg. Left heel towards the floor. Switch sides. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Bend both knees now. Move your sitting bones up towards the sky. Draw the ribs in a little bit so you're not collapsing through the low back. And then straighten your legs any amount. Heels can drift towards the floor. Keep the ribs in. Sitting bones continue to stretch. Check for wrinkles in the back of your neck. Let your head relax. Crown of the head extending out of your spine. Now, let's bring the feet together a little bit towards each other. Sweep the right leg to the sky. Breathe in. And with your exhale, step that foot forward in between your hands. Lunge. Let's take a high lunge now, or you have the choice to come to warrior one. Put the back heel down. Sweep the arms out to the side. You're enveloping the arms in that big circle. Imagine you're holding something big and rotund over your head. Take a breath in, and with your exhale, put your hands down on the floor. We're gonna place the left hand down on the floor. Pick up your back heel if it was lifted. We're gonna go into side plank here on the left now. So let's bring the back knee down for this first one and swing this right leg back behind you into that side plank position. Reach the arm over your, straight up towards the sky or over the ear. Take a breath in and then put your right hand down on the floor and go to plank pose with the left leg lifted. So left leg is just hovering. It's a three-legged plank. You could hold here or you could cross the left ankle over the right ankle. Breathe in and then uncross your feet. Go back to downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Breathe in and out and relax. Next, inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky, down dog split. Next, exhale, step that foot forward, lunge. High lunge or warrior one, you choose. Sweep the arms out to the side and up. Envelope the space above you, take a breath in. And with your exhale, put your hands down on the floor. Plant that right hand down, pick up your back heel. And then let's go to that side plank version with the right knee down. Sweep the left leg back behind you. Find your pose. Top arm over the ear maybe. Get long through the side of the body. Take a breath in. On your exhale, put the left hand down. Go to plank pose, but lift the right foot up. Three-legged plank. Maybe cross the right ankle over your left ankle. Squeeze everything together. Take a breath in. And then uncross your feet. Go up and back to down dog and stretch. Stay here or take child's pose and relax. 3 full breaths. Come back into the movement of your breath. Feel into the spaces that might feel a little stuck. And invite some movement there. Let's rock back forward to all fours and come to downward facing dog. We're going to repeat most of that. We're just going to add on a couple more options here. So feet together, a little bit closer in down dog. Sweep the right leg to the sky, down dog split. With your exhale, nose towards your knee, knee towards your nose, core plank. Hover forward. Just one of those. Stretch back, breathe in. Down dog split. And this time, step the foot forward into a lunge. Same thing, high lunge or warrior one. Rise up, arms out to the side. Exhale, hands to the floor. Now you have the option to bring your left knee down to the ground, or as you lift your left heel up, if you're in warrior one, you'll spin to the outside edge of your left foot and sweep this right leg back into side plank. So your version, either knee down or heel stacked. Top arm can go over your ear. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, roll to plank, hover your left foot up. Three-legged plank. Cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Take a breath in. Maybe bend your elbows 1 inch. And then press back up. Uncross your ankles and go back to downward facing dog. Release to child's pose. Take a little rest. Maybe pick up the hands and circle the wrists around. And then we'll move into that flow on the second side. So rock forward to all fours, tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Feet come a little closer. With your inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky. Exhale, core plank, knee to your nose, nose towards your knee. Stretch back, down dog split. Exhale, step forward, warrior one or a high lunge, you choose. Use your inhale to sweep the arms up. Use that breath. Exhale, hands down. Right hand down. Go to side plank on the right side. Your choice, knee down or heels stacked. You choose. Feel the strength of your bottom arm, the stretch across the top of the body. And then go to plank pose with the right leg lifted. Cross the right ankle over your left ankle. Take a breath in. With your exhale, bend your elbows 1 inch. Press back up, uncross your ankles and go back to down dog. Knees to the floor, child's pose, relax. Take 3 conscious breaths here to feel. What is moving? What is opening up? Where can you find a little more freedom? Where can you get a little unstuck? Let's rock forward to all fours, hands and knees, up and back to downward facing dog. We'll add on just a little bit here. So feet together towards each other. Sweep the right leg to the sky, breathe in. And this time, shin forward for pigeon pose. So right shin forward, come all the way down. If you like props underneath your hips or anything else to support you, you could find that folded version, or you might hug in so that you can stay in this upright version. Hands on blocks might be a good support for that. There's many ways to do this pose, but this more upright version is an active version of this pose. It actually does a lot to strengthen the hips. So just feel this squeezing in towards each other. Hug everything towards each other. Even if you're folded forward, feel this. We are going to do a more passive, relaxing version of this pose in a little bit. But for now, you could play with this active version, maybe even hands to the hips. Your legs will be asked to do a lot of the work to hug in here. And then relax, hands to the floor. Now, tuck your back toes. We're going to hover this right knee into core plank. So press your hands down. Bring the right knee in toward your chest, hug it in, and then step forward into lunge. Warrior one or high lunge, you choose. Sweep the arms to the sky, envelope, breathe in. With your exhale, hands to the floor, left hand down, go right into your version of side plank. Find that version. You could stay here, or if you're in the heel stacked version, you could take the top foot behind you, come to the ball of that foot like you're wearing a high heel, and just press the hips a little higher. Let the heart open. And then plank pose, right leg lifted. Cross the right ankle over your left ankle. Take a breath in, bend your elbows 1 inch. Press back up, uncross, go to downward facing dog. Relax, child's pose, knees to the floor. Sit back, conscious breathing. Maybe circle the wrists. Make your way to all fours and then to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Lift your left leg to the sky, down dog split. Exhale, pigeon pose, shin forward and down. Find your version. Remember, we are going to fold forward in a little bit in this pose, but for this one, you might just play with this upright version. Squeezing your legs towards each other. Ask your hips to work a little. Maybe use blocks under the hands for a little bit of support. All of these new muscles in your hips might be lighting up, getting a little unstuck. Actually, when we strengthen the body, like by doing movements like this, we actually can create a little more flow because our nervous system gets stronger and we get more comfortable with handling bigger ranges of motion. So you could float the hands to the hips, just really cultivate this feeling of strength and hugging in the interest of getting unstuck over time. Then release, hands to the floor, tuck the back toes. We're going to core plank, press into the floor, hover the left knee off the floor, and then step into a lunge. Warrior one, back heel down or not, you choose. It depends on your hips and your knees and your ankles. Reach for the sky, breathe in. With your exhale, hands to the floor. Right hand down, roll right into side plank. Make your way there. Find the connection between the poses. Either stay here in side plank with your knee down or your heels stacked, or step the top foot behind you, come onto the ball of that foot, and use that pressure of the ball of the foot on the floor to press the hips a little higher. Open the front of the body. And then roll into plank, left heel lifted. cross the ankles, take a breath in, do a little tiny push-up, 1-inch push-up up and down, and then uncross your feet, go up and back to down dog. Come forward to plank pose, top of a push-up, and then lower all the way to the belly. Knees down or legs straight, you choose. And just let your head relax. Make a little pillow for your head if you like. Give your hips a little shake, a little shimmy. You might bend the knees and just windshield wiper your feet from side to side. The hips are related to the water element. So there's a lot of rocking back and forth that we can find, a lot of rolling movements that we can find in the hips and the pelvis that can help us connect to that quality of movement and getting unstuck. So feel the breath in the back of the body, feel that ocean breath. And then reach your arms forward, lift your arms and your legs up. And now try this. Let's bend the left knee and reach back with the right hand towards the left foot. Maybe you catch it, maybe you don't. And then let's switch sides. So you're just swimming between the two sides. Check in with the back of the neck. Smooth out the wrinkles. Crown of the head forward. Swimming from side to side. And now both arms back alongside your hips. Lift your legs up, bend your knees. Maybe you reach for both of your feet. If you have the feet, kick the feet into the hands. Pull with the hands against the feet. Chest forward. And then relax. One cheek to the floor, arms by your sides, and just chill. Press your way back to child's pose. Engage the belly on the way. Shift back, relax. And then rise up to stand on your knees. So if you wanted to grab a blanket for this, we're just going to take a little version of camel pose. So if you like some cushion under your knees, go ahead and get that set up. Knees about hip width distance apart. Reach the arms up and then pull the arms down next to the ribs. The elbows go back. Press your pelvis forward. Crown of the head lengthening. Check for wrinkles in the back of the neck. And then let's start to lean the torso back. So you're in one nice straight line. Lift up. We're going to do that 5 more times. So lean back and lift up. You're hinging at the knees. The whole rest of the body is staying in a straight position. And then the next time you lean back, you might hold here. Arms could come out in front of you. That'll make it a little bit easier to counterbalance yourself. Or you could keep the hands here, or you could reach for the heels. Now, if your toes are not tucked, you might lean forward a little bit to tuck your toes. Reach for your heels maybe. And then you could let the heart open, let the head extend. Try not to let it drop back like a bowling ball though. Long spine. And then come back the way you came. So belly strong, arms next to your ribs if you like, and then use the belly to come up. Untuck the toes, just sit back on your heels in Vajrasana or another comfortable position and just let your body settle here. Feel the movement of your breathing. See if there's anything that's stuck that needs to continue to be encouraged to move. Let's come to downward facing dog. If you have a blanket here, you might shift it out of the way. We might use it soon in our seated poses, so just keep it nearby. Sweep the right leg to the sky now. And with your exhale, bring the shin forward into pigeon again. And here we are with our passive version of this pose. So just snuggle in, fold forward, let your head relax, maybe come to forearms. There's lots of ways to support yourself in this posture, maybe with blocks under the head to give yourself some support. Or you could also take blankets and snuggle them under the hip, under a hip. We're all different. Our hips are very different, even from each other, from the right to the left. So just feel into your body. Maybe invite a little bit of rocking movements to encourage some freedom. Can you move your pelvis around a little? How does your spine feel? How is your breath moving? Take one more breath here. Enjoy. Now let's rise up onto the hands. If you have something under that right hip, just slide it out of the way. We're gonna let the weight roll onto the right hip and swing the left leg forward and extend that left leg straight. So your right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Take both hands around your straight leg. Lengthen your spine, breathe in, turn the torso over your straight leg, and then fold forward any amount over your left leg. You could find some movement in this pose by revolving open, if you would like, towards the right. You choose. You could stay in a static position and just work with the movement of the breath, or you can move around. You can make up poses. It doesn't have to be a yoga pose. You can follow the inclinations of your body to create movement. Lift the torso up now, and then take this left leg. We're gonna cross the left foot over the right knee for a seated twist. And here's where, if you'd like to extend that right leg straight, you certainly could. Hands around the front shin, lift up tall through the spine. And then let's twist to the left. Left hand behind you, right arm could wrap around the front knee. Feel the movement of your breathing. Now release your twist, turn to the right, take a little counter twist to the right. Good, now listen carefully. We're gonna uncross this front leg, and I'd like you to lean onto your right forearm and roll onto your right hip. So you're kind of leaning towards the back of your mat. And we're gonna extend this right leg straight. So come down, so you're lying on your right side. You can bend the right elbow and make a little rest for your head if you like. And straighten your legs and line your heels up with your hips. That'll make it a little harder. If you wanted to bend your knees and do it with bent knees, you could. But you could play with this. The stakes are low, so it's a good one to play with. Your top hand could be on the floor for a little bit of support, or you could play with lifting your top arm and resting it on your hip. And if you rock back, if you roll back, which is very, very common, no worries. You just come back into this position and just notice how hard it might be to balance on your side like this. Feel the movement. Movement's good. You could stay here, or you could bend your top knee, reach along the inside of your knee for your big toe. If you can hold the big toe, you could hold it here. And it'll help if you flex your bottom foot and really press the outside edge of your bottom foot into the floor. Stay here, pressing the pelvis forward and that top knee back, or you could extend the top leg towards straight. Hold here, pelvis forward, knee back, top foot back. And then come back the way you came. So bend the knee if it was straight, restack the legs, maybe find that balance with the top arm on your hip. And then just roll onto your belly, and you'll be probably off your mat. So just shinny on back onto the mat. Make your way up and back to down dog. So go through all fours, lift up and back to downward facing dog, and stretch. So you're facing the back of your mat now. Lift the left leg to the sky, down dog split. With your exhale, shin forward and down for pigeon. And again, snuggle in, gather any props that you might need for this side, knowing that the two sides might be really different. And enjoy several breaths here. Let your body settle and relax and rock a little bit if you like. Rise up, lift your torso up. Let the weight slide onto your left hip, swing your back leg around, and straighten that right leg. Right leg straight, left leg bent. One hand on either side of your straight leg. Lift the chest forward, spin the torso toward your straight leg, and then fold forward any amount. Notice if there's any movement that you want to find. We're not really going for static positions. Let your body move. Look for where you can find that quality of movement, even if it's just very subtle, even if it's just the movement of your breathing. Lift the torso up. Take this straight right leg and cross the right foot over the left knee. And again, you could straighten that bottom leg. Hands around the front shin, lift up tall through the spine and twist to the right. Turn and twist to the right. Right hand can come behind you like a kickstand. Lift tall through the crown of the head. Check for wrinkles in the back of your neck. Really find that length through the spine. Take a counter twist to the other side, twisting to the left. And release the twist, release that top foot, and then let's move on to the left hip. So lower onto your left forearm. Get yourself situated so that you can lie on your left hip. Slide the left arm straight. And then bend your left elbow so you can rest your head in that hand. And then just see, can you stack your heels, line the heels up with your hips? This is really a core exercise, not really like a six-pack ab exercise, but it requires that the deep muscles of your core can stabilize you. So you could play with lifting the hand and resting. And again, if you roll backwards, it's no big deal. You're going to land on your back. No big deal. Stakes are low. So just play, feel, maybe notice if this side is harder or different than the first side. And then we'll add this option to bend the top knee, reach down the inside of the knee for your big toe. Hold on to it with your peace fingers if you like. Stay here, pressing the pelvis forward and the top knee back, or straighten the top leg. Again, continue to press the pelvis forward and the foot back, knee back. Good, let's release the leg back down. Stack the heels, find that balance with that arm alongside the top of the body. And then let's just roll onto the back. So let yourself roll onto the back. If you need to shimmy into the middle of the mat, you could. Reach the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Roll the pelvis under so you flatten the low back. Press the heels down, take a breath in, and then lift your hips up any amount. It might be a mini bridge or it might be a lifted bridge, and feel. If you'd like to take the arms over your head and stretch, you could in this version of bridge pose. Take another breath in, lift the hips higher. And with your exhale, slink the upper back down, mid back down, low back down. Maybe the arms release at the same time. Let the hips lower and relax. Let's bring the feet together and the knees wide into a Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly pose. Arms can rest wherever you like. And then we'll find a little bit of dynamic movement here between this pose and some reclined twists. So just take your left knee and cross it to stack on top of your right knee. So you come into a little twist. And then roll back through that supine butterfly pose and switch sides. Right knee crosses over to stack on the left hip, left knee. Go back and forth, just feeling your breathing, feeling the two sides of your body. Decide if you want to find some movement with your arms or a different position. And let's linger on one side. So the next time you come to the side, just pause and feel. When you're ready, glide through the center and go to the other side. When you get to the other side, pause and feel. Release back through the center and see where your body might want to go now. Maybe you're just pausing and feeling the ground underneath you, feeling that sense of stability. Maybe you want to hug the knees in towards the chest, or take any final little movements that your body's calling for. And whenever you're ready, set yourself up for Shavasana, for a good, well-deserved rest. If you'd like to settle yourself with any props, maybe a blanket under the head or blocks under the knees or under the feet, take the time to set yourself up well so that you can completely relax and rest. And even though you're moving into stillness, continue to feel that quality of movement. The heart beating, the breath moving. Your thoughts are still moving and will still move. But as you rest, see if you can invite a little bit more clarity into the movement of your thoughts. Maybe something that has been stuck is ready to shift and move. Let yourself rest and marinate in this feeling of movement and clarity as you're still. Gently start to bring your awareness back to your breathing, back to your body. Release anything that is still stuck to the best of your ability. And then find your way on up into a seat. We'll all meet in a seat when you're ready. Take your time. And let's meet with the hands together at the center of the heart. And take a moment to bow your head in gratitude for this practice that somehow helps us shift and move and get unstuck just through the feeling of moving the body and moving the breath. And offer yourself that gratitude for the freedom, beauty, and possibility of your own body-mind. Namaste.